So, y'all have to tell me if you can see me, if you can hear me. I'm about to log on to my Facebook page on my iPad. Let me tell you, you have to be so coordinated for all this. Okay, so Kariss, are you watching the live? If you are, let me know you're there so I can invite you on, like request to be on. And then you'll join me live there, and then I'll bring you in on YouTube and Facebook. I mean, I just feel like, ah. Okay, there you are, Kariss. All right, so Kariss. Oh, where did it go? Kariss, did you request to be on Instagram? There you are. There we are. Go live with you. Okay, so y'all, we're trying. You hear me? We're trying. There she is. Okay, so she's now on Instagram. Now, the thing about Instagram, y'all, is if we show anything, like if I show a screen share, you won't be able to see that, but you can see us talk. Instagram is a little locked down still, but y'all can talk. Y'all can see us here. On Facebook, I don't have you on here, Kariss, yet, but I will in just a second, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring you on to Facebook. Yep, we're live. On Facebook, y'all can see me and hear me. If I show a screen share, awesome. You won't be great. Get rid of that. I can see your comments. Let me turn my volume down. Awesome, awesome. I think we're on everywhere. So, Kariss, let me bring you on to YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. This is like major coordination. Okay. Make sure all my volumes are down. Hold on. All right. Okay, you couldn't get your AirPods or your earbuds to work, Kariss?
No.
Okay.
Actually, may be able to do them now that I'm listening to you on my phone.
Okay. Well, if you can't, that's fine. It just gets rid of a little bit of echo. So, y'all have to know Kariss loves y'all because she's up at 7 o'clock in the morning. What time do you normally get up? Oh, now she can't hear me. She's trying to get her earbud situation together. So I was like, Kariss, you have to get up in the morning. You have to be awake on time. But she was awake. She got up this morning, and so I thought she would be the perfect person to talk to about what it's like to keep kids at home, because while she has young children, and while she is an at-home mom, she's also a work-at-home mom. Good morning on Instagram. I see you there. Good morning. We love you too. On Facebook. Yay, you're here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let me talk about a few things, y'all, while she's getting situated. So if this is your first time landing on me in life in general, my name is Crystal Evans Hurst. And basically, I'm a writer and a speaker, an author and encourager. And basically, I love practical. So yes, I can teach the Bible, and yes, I can cook, and yes, I can homeschool. But my favorite thing to do, my favorite thing in life to do, is to give practical advice. And when I don't know the practical answer, I love to introduce people to my friends who do have practical answers. So anyway, so let me just put a few things up here. That's me. Okay, I'm playing with new technology. So y'all who are oh, Kariss, you got lost off of Instagram, so I got to bring you back. Okay, there you go. Let's see, Kariss. Kariss, can you comment on Instagram so I can bring you back?
Okay.
Oh, wait. I think I can do it. All right. Okay. I think you're coming back.
Here I am.
Yay. Okay. There you are. Awesome, y'all. Thank you for telling me. Okay, so here's the wonderful thing about technology. Technology allows me, and I'm still kind of, we'll see how this works after I look with the recording. But anyway, technology allows me to do what I love to do, which is to give practical encouragement for such a time as this. That was one of the things my mom used to say a lot, for such a time as this. And y'all, right now, we need kind of the same practical encouragement that we've always needed, except on 10. Because if you needed to know how to cook, you could have learned that gradually before. But now with shelter at home orders in place, you better learn how to cook if you don't want people with the Rona touching your food. But anyway, that's a side situation. Okay, so, but here's the deal. If you are not in my Facebook group, I want to tell you about that, because it is the Sister Circle Facebook group. And basically what that is we continue the conversation there. So after the live from yesterday, I went in there and said, all right, girls, why don't you share with each other the tips that you have for saving money? Because yesterday, if you didn't catch the live with me and Ty McNeely of His and Her Money, like we ran through a bunch of tips in an hour, like what you can do to cut money really fast. If you can't make more money or if you need to save more money, what you can do to basically raise the usable income in your home. So that was great. And then I went into the Facebook group and said, hey, y'all, what tips do you have for each other? Because no one of us has all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. So when we get to help each other, that helps. The other thing that I want to make sure you know about is the inner circle, because as of right now, every live that we do is available. This is basically the kind of bonus content that I share with the inner circle all the time. And so all of this stuff, y'all, because we all need it. It's all out here. It's all free. It's all available to everybody. But on Sunday night, I'll pull it down and put it in the Inner Circle library. If you're interested in knowing more about the Inner Circle, you can just go to the address that's on your screen, crystalevanshurst.com/inner circle, if you want to know more about that. But everything that I'm doing this week, I'm putting out because y'all, we all need it. The other thing, the last thing, and then we'll jump into my conversation with Kariss. Y'all, if you are not on my email list, you need to be. You need to be. And so the reason why is because if we talk about resources, oh, see, this doesn't want to be nice. If we talk about resources and we say, okay, we'll send that out later, the way we send that out is via email. So like, for instance, I already know today, one of the things that we're probably going to share with you is Kariss's schedule for her life. Because, oh my gosh, I raised a child who can schedule her life. I told her the other day, because she came over with her kids, I was like, girl, she brought over a binder and she said, listen, these kids not having a schedule and us winging it, this is not working. So I created a schedule, and she opened up her binder and showed me her schedule. And I was like, oh, it worked. My child rearing worked. So I've been telling her on so many fronts that that I'm proud of her, because I've been proud of her way before this. She's stinking fantastic. Those of you who are on Instagram, I cannot talk, manage the live stream, watch the feed, and then type for you. So when I say something, can y'all be nice for me and just type it in? So crystalevanshurst.com to get on my email list. crystalevanshurst.com/Facebook to join the Facebook group. crystalevanshurst.com/inner circle if you want to know more about the library of all the bonus stuff that we always put away for our Inner Circle members. Okay, so now I'm trying to turn off the Inner Circle thing and it won't let me turn it off. Oh wait, that's because I have, maybe if I do this, there we go. Okay, awesome. So Kariss, if y'all want to find out more about Kariss, okay, so I'm turning things on and off and it's not doing what I want it to do. So let me change it real quick. But while I'm changing that, y'all, Kariss is a photographer. Her and her husband have a photography, videography, multimedia business. And if y'all see my videos, okay, you know what my videos look like, because it looks like I did them. When it looks like I had them professionally done, that's because I call Josh and Kariss. If y'all see me looking beautiful, that's because I call Josh and Kariss. Kariss is a great photographer, like a lifestyle photographer. Here we go. Here's her information. And not only can she shoot the business out of anybody's beautiful thing, she's a great stylist. So if y'all see me looking like, oh, Crystal got dressed today, that's because she dressed me. You can find out more about her by going to farrisphotography.com. You can follow her on Instagram. If you're not following her, I would love to say that you should follow Kariss for Kariss. I would love to say that you should follow Kariss for Josh. But really, you need to follow Kariss for Ellie. Ellie is my granddaughter. I've got 2 grandchildren. How should we describe Ellie, Kariss? Let's just start off your part of the conversation by talking about Ellie.
A hot mess. Today's not the day.
Yes, Ellie, it is.
I'm still mad at her from last night.
Okay, but let's talk about. But let's use other words. She's highly perseverant.
Okay.
She is. Yes. She is confident. Yes. She is determined.
Yes.
She has awesome willpower.
Yes.
She's beautiful.
Yes.
She's highly self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And let's
She's
just say
logical.
she's extremely logical beyond her years. So, y'all, I have to tell you this quick story, and then we'll jump into all the things that we need to talk about. I've said hello to Facebook. I've said hello to Instagram. YouTube, I know you're watching. Hello to you too. Right now, we've got a few hundred people watching, so this is great. Okay, so, oh, and I forgot to say, share this, y'all. So if you can let somebody else know who needs to know about having a rhythm at home, a routine at home, managing kids, particularly small kids, although Kariss does remember being a teenager in my home, so she can speak to that as well. So having kids at home and having rhythm and routine, share this on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it on Instagram so that whoever needs it can catch it. But my mother, so one day I was talking about Ellie, y'all, to my mother. And I was saying, whoo, that girl has a strong will. She's not listening, this and this and that. And my mother said, well, yes, she definitely is a persistent and perseverant little child. And all of a sudden, bells went off in my head because whenever I've asked my parents, somebody said she's bold. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Whenever I would ask my parents what I was like as a little child, they would say, you were very persistent and perseverant. And I was like, wait a minute. So I said to Nani, so mommy is what we call her, but the granny name for her is Nani. So we sometimes use those interchangeably. I said, Mom, are you saying that I was like Ellie? And she said, well, I would say yes. I think me and your dad were probably a little stricter than, newfangled parents of today. But you definitely, I see a lot of your personality in Ellie. And I was like, was I baby? Was like, but I remember when you told me Ellie was a baby and you could not put her down to go to sleep. Like she wanted to do what she wanted to do, even as a like 4-week-old. Well, there's a story, I'm sure you've heard it, when I was a baby and my parents would rock me to sleep. Poppy still talks about this to this day. Then they would quietly put me down and put me to sleep and then try to go through the hallway and not hit the creak in the floor. Because if they did anything that reminded me I was asleep, I would be up. And if they were rocking me and they thought I was asleep and I wasn't asleep, and they stopped rocking me, I would start rocking them. Does that sound like Ellie?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't be mad at her if she's like me.
Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
so Kariss, you are here, y'all, and we are here at 7 o'clock in the morning because while I know you can watch this anytime today, I want you to be encouraged and motivated to start your day well. I want you to roll out of bed, even if you're in the bed right now, if you're not working, open up your phone, and I want you to hear me say this. Sheltered at home or not, you still need to be in control of your time, intentional with your time, and you need to use the extra time that you have because we all have extra time. Church is closed, the baseball games aren't happening, and I want you not to look back after this QC time is over. So we're in the middle, I'm calling these, y'all, a little QC, quarantine content, so that you have some quality control in your quarantine life, okay? It's a little QC so that you can still be intentional, and weeks after, months after, when this is over, you can say, look at all the ways I invested in my life when life was shut down. I didn't shut down. So this is your time to invest in you. This is a great time, Kariss, to talk about managing your home. So let's talk first about why you even created a schedule. And I know you're sitting there, but why? Why did you even say? Because y'all, this is the child who I tried to get to create a schedule, and she just wouldn't do it. No, I'm not that organized. That's just you. You're a type A personality. That's the kind of stuff. I don't homeschool my kids. You only had to do it because you homeschooled your kids. That's what she told me. But then you went and created a schedule. So why did you do that?
Because if you don't have a plan for them, they will have a plan for you, and their plan is
That's
chaos.
Ah.
And I was tired of just living in chaos. So I was like, no, we got to get a handle on this.
Okay.
So last week we lived in total chaos. It was just a free for all. We were at your house. We did what we felt like doing when we felt like doing it, and it was just chaos. chaos. It was just
And then you brought
chaos.
that chaos over here.
I sure did. I was like, somebody got to share
And
in this with me.
I can't do chaos. You know that. So, okay, so here's the question. Because people need to understand the framework for your life. Your kids, while you are an at-home mom, your kids are not at home with you every day. So
Yeah.
where are your kids every day?
So you like currently or
No,
before?
like before the QC,
Okay.
QT,
So
QC.
they're at school. So they're in an early childhood program at school every day. They can go as early as 6:30 and they can stay as late as 6:30. But usually we take them around from 9 to 4.
Okay, okay, 9 to 4, because you work from home,
Mm-hmm.
doing shoots, editing photos, dealing with the administrative part of managing a business,
Yeah.
all of those fun things.
Yeah.
So you have been thrust into being a stay-at-home mom for real
Yes.
while still having to work. Like you still have work to do.
Yes.
Okay. So so has it been stressful?
Yes.
Okay. But do you feel prepared? Like now that you've like, okay, I got to fix this.
So now I feel prepared. Yes.
But did you, before you fixed it, did you feel like I know how to fix this?
No, no. I knew that the way to fix it was to create a schedule.
Okay. And so I want to stop there because a lot of women don't know that. They've never been home with their kids. And in your case, even though you don't send them to the early childhood program until they're a year and a half, you know, you do work from home. I think it's helpful to know that even when your kids are small, you do have help at home. You get on care.com. You've always found somebody to help you in the home so that even with a 6-month-old, you can still work from home. That's a part of the budget that y'all have to set aside to work. So she is at home, but she also has the framework, y'all. And I just want to pat myself on the back because she had to help me with the boys when they were small, and she was a teenager. She had to help me run my home. So what I'm seeing you do, while everything you do is not from me, and that's why I'm so proud of you because your home is immaculate. I mean, just in terms of the way the way you organize it. Like everything has a home. It's beautiful. It's Instagram ready. I can't say that about my home. But you do have a frame of reference, and I want you to understand that a lot of people are watching who do not have a frame of reference. Their mother always worked. Their home was always in disorder. They never learned to cook. If they were going to sit down and create a schedule, they wouldn't know where to start. You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about, because I'm just going to give you the mic and let you talk about the kinds of things that you put in your schedule. And then I'm going to ask you, Kariss, to email me your schedule. You can make it pretty if you want to. And then we'll make sure we share it so that people can see what you're actually doing. So talk about what that looked like. You trying to get your house in order and get a schedule. Yes, your binder.
So this is where I keep my schedule. So I have it, it's not laminated. It's in like the sheet protector thing.
You should laminate it. Word to the wise, when you can.
I don't have a laminator. I'm
I
sorry.
do, because I'm a homeschool mom.
I'll just come over your house and laminate it then. Yeah. So basically, so what am I talking about? Just the schedule.
Yeah, like start from just decide what were the problem things first of all that you needed to fix, and how your schedule addresses those things, and then walk them through it.
Okay. So the problems were the kids woke up before me. So Ellie would usually wake me up with a, "Mommy, can I play with my iPad?" Like at whatever time. I don't know what time it was. So the first problem was they were waking up first. So I was just automatically starting my day at a delay because I was waking up after them. And so I was trying to play catch up. Like at some point, Ellie would be like, "I'm hungry." And that was kind of my cue to get up. And since Ellie wakes up before everybody else, like the whole house was asleep. So it'd be like 7:30, 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30. And she was just the first one up. So she'd be on her iPad for however long until she got hungry. And then it was like, everybody's mad because they're hungry. So I have to like hurry up and fix breakfast. that was the first problem, is just that she was waking up before. So I solved that by just waking up earlier. So, and I'm still working on that. Sometimes I don't, but because I mean, it is flexible.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point because I saw somebody say on Instagram, and if you see me look down, it's because I'm taking notes of things I don't want to forget. But when you create a schedule, this is not so that every 30 minutes a timer rings and like soldiers in the army, people switch gears. This is about you giving yourself, I always call it giving yourself a track to run on, that you know what comes next and they know what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
So breakfast, and yes, breakfast, no to everybody waking up angry. Here's a hint, Kariss. When you go to the store, put some things. Can Ellie open the fridge on her own? Like, can she get on a stool
Yes,
and open
no.
the fridge?
They have a bucket of snacks, so
Right.
like of morning snacks, so like granola or whatever that Ellie can reach for both of them. But although they still have that, the problem with that is that the bucket would just be ransacked. And I just like go to the bucket. And so they would eat like 2 or 3 granola bars and like 3 fruit snacks, and I mean it would just be ransacked. So it was just
Yeah.
chaos. It was chaos.
But I've seen somebody putting out, not a bucket, but like those little, like, the little cheap plastic containers that you can get from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Like, she puts their daily snacks in
Yeah.
there. And then if they eat them all, then they ate them all. But that's all they
Right.
get for the day. So she's encouraging them to like spread out their choices all day. So that's a
Yeah.
thought.
I think that's great.
Anyway, keep going.
Yes, so solve that by waking up earlier and waking them up instead of Ellie waking me up. And if by some reason Ellie wakes up before me, go to your room and lay down. It's still bedtime.
Because I'm the mom.
Like, no, you're not watching your iPad at 7:30 in the morning. Because I really think she has like this internal timer that says wake up so you can watch your iPad, Ellie. Like before mommy wakes up. So now, wake up first. Okay, so then when she wakes up, from 8 to 9:30 is family wake up time. So they wake up, we go through their routine, they brush their teeth, they wash their face, and they'll do this all by themselves. I don't really care how clean their teeth get or if they still have boogers in theirs. I don't care. It's just I'm trying to get them to just do it, to just do it.
Habit and routine. Yes.
Well, yeah, so as they're doing that, I'm making breakfast. And so this is the ideal schedule, okay? Doesn't always
Right.
happen.
It's
Like,
a track
okay,
to run on. That's it.
yes. So then the goal is that while I'm making, or while they're eating breakfast, I'm either reading Jesus Calling Kids, which is a book we have so that they're getting morning devos, or I turn on the TV for YouTube and they watch Listener Kids, which is like a Christian song type thing. Which Ellie yesterday told me she was sick of that. So we're going to have to come up with something.
I
So,
still have DVDs, by the way. And I
I
have
don't like
videos.
having
Do y'all even
DVD
have a
player
VH
anymore.
player? Do you have a VH?
No.
Well, when she comes over here, I have a lot of kids programming that will intrigue her because she's never seen it before.
Well, fantastic. We'll see you today. But yeah, so excuse me. And then after we're done with breakfast, then we do morning stretches, which basically is just me finding a YouTube, like I just YouTube kids morning stretches, so
Yeah.
that just moving in the morning. And then after that, and this is all from 8 to 9:30, I just send them to go have quiet play from just until I'm ready to start, which is supposed to be like 10 o'clock. Now,
I love how you keep saying it's supposed to be.
yes. Now, I will preface this next part of the day with I do have help. So it
Yes.
may look differently, if you don't have help and are doing this all by yourself. But from 9:30 to 3:30 is my like work time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my like me and Josh actually have to like be quiet and get some work done. So that's from 9:30 is when our helper comes. And before it was a free for all for her too, because I didn't have a plan. She didn't have a plan. So it was like, well, maybe take him outside. Well, JT's crying, so put him to sleep. Like I'd kind of be hollering from the other room as I'm hearing what's happening.
I'm on a
Like,
conference call. I can't come right
turn on the
now.
TV or like take him outside. I gotta call. Be quiet. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So okay, so 9:30 to 10 is indoor activity, and I have made a list of indoor activities that I have found from like I just consolidated from Pinterest and all that for her to choose from. So the indoor activities range from puzzles, Legos, I Spy, YouTube gymnastics, coloring, build an air fort, red solo cup bowling, water and cotton ball painting, and a balloon hit, which is basically like tying a balloon on a string from the ceiling and hitting it with a bat or a pool noodle. So those are like just some example indoor activities. But they do that from 9:30 to 10, and then from 10 to 10:30 they do an outdoor activity. So they can take a walk, they can do chalk, they can do bikes, they can garden, outdoor games, which I've made a list of that as well. Bubbles, finger painting, rock painting, backyard scavenger hunt, painting ice, fill of water with
Painting ice.
yeah. Yeah, filling a bucket with soap and water and just letting them play with the bubbles. I also spent way too much money on Amazon yesterday about like kids outdoor activities, but just like bubbles and just
Is the stuff
I
even
mean,
going to get here? Everything that I see on Amazon now is going to be delivered in a month.
nope, Wednesday and Thursday.
Huh. I'm looking
So
for the
there's
wrong
some things,
things.
yeah, there's some things that you can get, yeah,
Okay.
um, pretty quick. But yeah, so they do that for 30 minutes, and then from 10:30 to 11. So 10 to 10:30 she's doing that with them. There's like, this is, I'm with you, we're doing this together. And then 10:30 to 11 they do it, they play outdoor by themselves while she fixes lunch, which I also had to make a menu because meal times were also a free for all. And I was like, I don't know, just, I mean, do we have bread? Fix them a sandwich. But now we have a meal plan. And then 11 a.m. they're eating lunch. They can watch a 30-minute show while they're eating. Um, and then 12 p.m. is nap time or quiet time. Not Ellie doesn't always want to take a nap, and it's just like, that's fine, but you still gotta stay in this room and be quiet and don't come out. Like, that's just what. So that's kind of how we navigate that. And then 2 p.m. is wake up time, and then they do snack, and our helper reads them a story while they are eating their snack. 2:30 to 3 is homework time. So they'll do coloring or school activities. Ellie has like little worksheets. She can write her name, like those kinds of things. Um, and then JT can just color. And then from 3 to 3:30, they clean their room. So usually my helper does help me with like just like light cleaning, and we realized that she can't do that anymore for Ellie because Ellie threw something on the floor. And I said, Ellie, go pick that up. And she was like, no, Miss Emma can pick it up. And I was like, oh, no, we're not doing that. So now Ellie has chores, and she has to clean her room at the end of the day before she can get her iPad and, have her screen time. So that's 3:30. And then it switches over to family time. So then we do an outdoor activity from 3:30 to 4:30, a creative activity. So maybe I let them color, or maybe that creative activity is get creative and choose which TV show you want to watch. But if it's that kind of day, it's that kind of day. And then 5:30 is dinner time, family play. We may visit you. 6:30 bath time, 7 o'clock story time, 7:30 bedtime, and that's it.
So let me just put a caveat in here because I know somebody is like, okay, but she has somebody helping her. But the point is whether she does it or somebody else does it, it still has to be done. Okay.
Right.
And somebody asked, like, where you get a helper from. I mean, care.com, right? You found her on care.com?
Yeah,
And you
so
found a
usually,
series of people on
yeah, no,
care.com.
I've had pretty much everybody. We've had help since Ellie, so we've had quite a few helpers, maybe 5 or 6 helpers
Mm-hmm.
over just the past 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe not. Maybe like 4 helpers. Anyway, yes, I find them on care.com, which kind of seems crazy because you're like, who am I getting? But I have a very specific algorithm for finding a helper. I
That's because I taught you how to hire
No,
people.
yeah, you did. I'm basically looking for a person who is in college, because if they're in college, a lot of times they don't have other responsibilities, and I feel bad because there are moms who've like applied for, to help me. And I'm like, no, because I don't. You're doing this already. If they're moms, they already have to do this. I don't want you to come to my house tired because you've been doing it at home, and you have your own kids to worry about. So I usually try to find a college student who's a girl, who has a lot of siblings. Like the more siblings, the better. If they're
Because
the oldest, that's the better. Yeah,
yeah.
that's better. So our current helper is amazing. She has 12 siblings. She has 12 siblings, and yeah, she was Amish at one point. Is now a Christian. She's fantastic. I hope she never leaves us ever. I will sob when she decides that it's time to move on. But yes, yeah.
But here's what I want to say that, Karis, and I think you saw me do this because basically you do need choices. Because if you do the same thing with your kids every day, they'll get
Yes.
bored, you'll get bored. Even now, my boys have, and they have always had what I call rotations. Because if you can give them choice, and I think that's important for the kids to have choice. So even now, in the afternoons, when my kids are younger, when they're older with high school, their schoolwork keeps them busy a large majority of the day. But when they're younger, in the afternoon, I would give them things that they could do without me,
Mhm.
so that I could take a nap, I could get work done, I could make a phone call, I could, whatever, we could be separate. And then they would choose. Now, when they get older, I actually make those things more logical. For instance, if I say you have to practice the piano 5 days a week, which 5 days, I don't care. So we have a little
Mhm.
chart and they can mark that they did it 5 days. So they get some autonomy with deciding. Reading is 6 days a week. You got to read every day. But practicing typing, I need you to do that 3 times a week. Which 3 days? I don't care. So when they were smaller, it would be the same thing. I want you to work on the puzzle 3 times a week. But when you do it, I don't care. That they would just mark down. And I would say you have to do 3 to be free. That was my thing, 3 to be free. And then the rest of your free time, you can use it however you want to, not on screens. Because we don't typically, now I've been a little looser. Last week was spring break, but typically we pulled back on the, we used to do screen time in the evenings because they were homeschooled and they didn't have homework. But then I was like, it still is a pull on their psyche. So we just were like, nah, not until the weekend. So the key, I think, is, and I said all that to say this, your kids need to make decisions and they need to be able to operate independently of you for a certain period of time a day. So even when the kids were younger, until they were like 2, 3 years old, they would spend 30 minutes in a playpen. A, so that they could play by themselves, and B, so that there was at least some time when I knew I didn't have to worry about where they would go. I blanket, that people are going to be like, what does this mean? It's a whole nother topic for another day. But I blanket trained my children, meaning that if I didn't have a playpen, I could go to somebody else's home, lay out a blanket, and they would stay on it. And I would put some Duplos on there when they were little, or, and so, I did a lot of things. In the high chair, your kids can stay, if they're little, in a high chair for 15 to 30 minutes, not tied to mealtime. Give them a bucket of rice if they're old enough and some scoops. Put a shower curtain on the ground. And then if rice falls on the floor, no big deal. Give them, like she said, soap and water outside. That keeps them busy for a while. If you get an Amazon delivery in a big box, oh my goodness, keep the box. They will play with that box until it breaks apart. But you need to teach your children to do things apart from you, because it will free you up, no matter what the age is. So give them a list of things, and if they're too young to give them the list, then you know what the list is, and every day just change it up. There is wonderful goodness that comes if they're too young for puzzles. Give them pots and pans with lids. That will keep them busy for a while. Ziploc containers with lids. They'll be trying to figure out how to put them on. So separate themselves from you and do rotations. And the other thing that I was going to talk about that you mentioned was, giving them things that you want to do with them knowing when it's structured time. So for those of you who have school-age children, them knowing that here's the structured time and here's the time where you get to be free. Now, when my kids were smaller, their free time did include educational programming. So don't feel bad about the iPad if it's what you want them to watch. Don't feel bad.
Not. She watches Disney Plus. I don't know what she watching on there, honestly. I couldn't tell you.
But there is enough. And, that's maybe one of the things that we'll talk about in the Facebook group, the Sister Circle group, like give the age of your kids and what they're watching. Because we all just need ideas. We all need ideas. My older children, a part of their free time in the afternoons, when I said they couldn't watch, because honestly, I have raised my kids on the Boomerang channel. Because Cartoon Network at a certain time got a little dicey. So did Nickelodeon. And so they can watch it, but because I steered them so often to Boomerang, my kids love Tom and Jerry. But I still was like, let's do something else. So screen time in the afternoon became be productive. What can you learn on YouTube? And as long as you're learning something, enjoy. So 2 of my children now have started a YouTube channel, and they're learning Adobe Premiere, and they're learning how to edit videos. Take all of my equipment, take my tripods, take my mics, because you're learning something. So the sky is the limit. And I do want to talk about education for a little bit, because Kariss, you're not planning on homeschooling your kids. which is
Definitely not. After this, I mean, even if I was thinking about it, after this, nah, y'all look for school.
you said
Y'all look for
definitely not,
school.
especially after this.
Oh, no, I'm gonna be the first one there when school opens back at 6:30. All right, guys, have a great day. I'm gonna
You're
hug the
so
teacher. I might
stupid.
give her some cash.
Listen, there's a whole generation of people that are about to honor their teachers.
Oh yes.
I mean, you'd be
Oh
like,
yes.
we didn't know, we knew, but we didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know.
I
I
didn't,
didn't know. I
but
want to write. I want to write Ellie and JT's teachers apology letters right now because they always getting on me for being late. I'm always late. I'm always.
and
I'm
what do they
always
say? The
late.
reason why they are saying
Well,
they don't want you to be
no,
late is
we
because
like them to be on time because we start the routine at 8:30, and we really want Ellie to be here
they
for the
have a
routine.
routine.
And really, I was like, my routine is I wake up at 8:45. So when we get here is when we get here. Now I have a whole new respect. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna be here at 7:30. How about that?
It's
And I'll bring
interesting.
you breakfast.
So let me ask you this before we get into more some practical things, because we're going to talk for about 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we're going to take some questions, okay? Because I want to make sure we answer some questions. But I want to know, do you think this is teaching you about you as a parent that maybe you didn't realize?
I'm
And
lazy.
how is this, and how is this, and what are you learning about your kids that maybe you didn't know, because even though you're with them a lot, you're not with them in this season all day.
Right. Okay. What was the first question?
What is it teaching
What?
about you as a parent?
Okay. Yes. That I'm a very go with the flow. We'll see what happens. Lazy. I mean, that's the right way to put it. Parent, but I am also a very creative person,
You are.
and I do like schedules. So when I can marry the fact that I do like schedules and the fact that I am creative with keeping just hey, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. When I can marry all of that, then I'm fantastic.
You are. And you're a lot more creative than I am. Like, you are a natural. That's actually why we kept homeschooling you. We took you out because school was tough. And you just needed a little extra TLC. And then, but you found that you had the freedom to explore your passions. And I want to say that to any school age parents watching who have been thrust into homeschooling their kids. Somebody on Instagram said, thank you, because I'm being super lazy right now too. So you're not alone. But the reality is that a lot of people are discovering what they have known to do or not known to do as parents. And it's okay. It's okay to learn and grow. What are you discovering about your kids that maybe you knew, but you didn't know all the way?
JT is perfect, but I've always known that. JT is
That's terrible.
my little perfect boy. So perfect.
Oh, gosh.
And Ellie is even. I don't even know. I've tried to think of a way to describe her without cussing.
Kariss. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Except I know you're kind of not.
No. I Ellie is. I don't even know.
A lot. She's a handful.
Ellie is a hemp. But I knew that.
But you just didn't know to what extent.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
just saying it all day, every day. Somebody help me.
Okay. So what I want to do first is take questions from the inner circle, because I jumped in and I said, y'all, I'm talking to Kariss this morning. What questions do you have? So I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to scroll through and see if I can grab a few others. I've been writing a few others as we go. So Christine wanted to know, and we're going to have a whole nother conversation, y'all, about homeschooling. If my life will allow it, I may be jumping on again live just on Instagram just to talk kids at home with school, because that's a whole separate thing. But you were a teenager at home, being a homeschool teenager, and I mean, that's why I'm so excited you turned out okay, because listen, it was tough. But somebody said, how do you homeschool teenagers who have their own minds and don't want to cooperate? So what encouragement would you give to a mom who has been thrust into a homeschool moody teen who's at home who doesn't want to do anything? Any words of wisdom?
What you told me is not up for discussion. This is what it is, and you can do it and be happy, or you can do it and have an attitude. But either way, you're doing it, and it's just not up for discussion. It's my way or my way.
It's my way or my way. And I think you also have to come up with creative ways to discipline, because you have to make it matter to them that they didn't do it. I mean, you do. So that's a whole other conversation for another way too. But yeah, it's not a discussion. You set the schedule. You tell them what's what. Okay, another question. Somebody said how to manage teleworking and schooling children online both at the same time. Okay, so we're back to schooling or preschooler. So for somebody who doesn't have the help, if right now, be creative, because I can speak to this, but I want you to try. If you didn't have help at home and you knew that you had to get some work done, how would you structure your day?
Yeah, no, I mean, I did make this schedule with if I had to do it in mind. So I would keep the exact same schedule that we have. I would just make sure that the activities I can set up and then let them do it by themselves. So it's great that we have a help to do it with them so that they're not like playing alone all the time. But if Emma wasn't here, I would do the exact same thing, and I would just make sure the activities during the activity times that I created, it's activities that I can set and then let them go and do by themselves.
Well, I'll tell you another trick though is let them stay up late, which I know is a thing. But like right now, my kids are sleeping because I decided that even though we normally get up at 7:30, and we start school 8:30, breakfast and all that, I need a couple of hours in the morning to do stuff like this. And then once we get off, I've got some emails to reply to. I've got some stuff to send to my publisher. So I said, y'all can stay up late and watch a movie because I needed them to sleep. So you can get creative with how you even just take them out of the equation. Let them watch a movie in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
be creative with the schedule.
Yeah, I let Lily stay up too. I just play with toys in your room. Don't come out.
Somebody asked, we talked about preschoolers a lot. So Sharon, I think we answered your question already. Cam, you asked about keeping a clean, organized space while being at home all day. Decluttering and home organizing, spring cleaning, we'll have a whole nother conversation about that. I probably need to call you for that one as well. But anyway,
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah, see how you got excited about that. But right now, if you had to give your top three, if you need to organize your home for you and your kids, you kind of gave one earlier about putting snacks in a bucket that your kids could reach. Anything else that you would say this helps with structure in your home and order?
Like in terms of organization.
Organization, yeah, just any quick tips for organizing, particularly with kids at home, but anything really that you can think of on the spot.
I keep toys in their room. We don't do toys in the living room. We don't do toys in other spaces because I mean we don't have a game room, and our house is like 1,800 square feet. So everything if you it's in the room. So that just keeps me from like my mind being cluttered with like toys all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you want to play, your room is your playroom, and that's your space to do that in.
Somebody said, I've given up on cleanliness. I just hit reset at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's an
that's
option.
real.
That's an option.
That's real. Um,
What else you got?
um, hmm. We have catch-all areas so that that the whole house isn't just like, oh, I left this here, this is over here. So like our entryway, I have like a bin near the entryway, and so if there's something in the front of the house that needs to go to the back, but I'm not necessarily going to the back right now to put it there, it goes in the catch-all bin, and then that way that bin at the end of the day can get put back. But at least it's not like cluttering the whole house the whole day.
That's good. We have a basket in our living room. Really, it's filled with the toys for your kids. But my boys at the bottom of the stairs, if stuff goes upstairs, I put it there. And here's the thing, if they pass it too often, here's a creative discipline tip. If they pass it too often, after that I've put it there and after I've told them to put it upstairs, then I say, well, obviously you don't mind going up and down the stairs. So take the stuff upstairs and then right quick, I need you to run 10. And run 10 means go up and down the stairs, like workout,
Oh, I
up and
would
down.
hate to do that.
Yep.
Oh,
Because it'll
oh
make them think
man,
twice the
stuff
next
like
time
that.
about passing it. And if 10 doesn't seem to win them because they're young bucks with lots of energy, then we'll do 20. It says, I want to help you. I want you to get exercise. And I want to help you remember the next time that you don't want to have to do this again. I love you. So, okay, so hopefully those 3 tips are helpful. Okay, so I think that has covered my questions from the inner circle. Really quick, I'm going to jump on Facebook and see if there are some questions that I missed here. Oh, where did that go? Let me go out and come back in because I think, okay. Yes, Tiffany, I see you saying that you have a put away basket. Listen, the cleanup song is the business. Your kids can be programmed. If I start singing the cleanup song, clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up, everybody do your share. That is a cue. Y'all kids, as much as I believe in the Holy Spirit and the saving soul of Jesus Christ and that we are logical beings and we are not animals, there is animalistic tendencies that every young child has. Okay. And routine and cues, you can teach your children cues. That cleanup song will get them to do that. You can clean up after nap time. You can clean up before dinner. You can clean up in the evening before they go to bed. Just start singing the song and it'll be like they turn into robots and they start
and
cleaning
up. You can
up.
make it fun by like speeding it up at the end.
Yes, so that was what we used to do.
Speeding up. Yeah.
We'd be like, clean up, everybody. And they start going like this. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so definitely yes to the cleanup song. I'm scanning Facebook. Oh, it won't let me do that. That's whack. Okay, well, I was trying to scan Facebook for questions. It's not letting me be great. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. No, it won't let me do it. So if you had a question, go ahead and add it in now. Let me jump over to YouTube and see if there's any other questions.
Here comes Ellie.
You said, here comes Ellie. Well, bring her on.
Yeah,
let's have a conversation. Okay, I'm looking for questions, you guys. How do you engage, Rashida said, a 1-year-old? Like if they can't go out necessarily by themselves and play with a bucket and water, like what are some things that specifically when they're really little, how do you keep a kid that's littler on a schedule? They're not a newborn, so they're not sleeping all the time, but they're not old enough to do a lot of the things that you mentioned. Any ideas for little babies?
I mean, what I did with JT, I mean, it's so simple, actually. I mean, you just give him a ball, like, give him a pot and a pan, let him beat on something. But I would do it one at a time. I think overloading a 1-year-old, like just putting them on a blanket with a million toys, is counterproductive. Like, give them 2 at a time.
Yeah, they need focus.
Switch out. And then Baby Einstein's is literally
magical.
Like baby crack.
And it's on YouTube. And it's on YouTube, which I'm mad because I paid for the whole thing. I paid for every CD. But it's on YouTube right now. And still to this day, that music that I used to play for my kids when they were babies is still soothing to them. If you put on Baby Einstein, your 15-year-old will sit and watch it. So there's that. Somebody said, I will have to try the cleanup song. Beverly said, instead of the crazy, insane mom yesterday who scared the whole family to get the house picked up. Oh, here's an idea. Tiffany said she puts things that they don't clean up into toy jail.
Ooh, I'm definitely doing that.
So the things that they love are on YouTube, you know, that they get. Okay, sibling arguments. How do you handle sibling arguments? Because now the kids who were used to being with their friends all day are home with each other all day and they don't necessarily get along.
Sometimes I just let it play out. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I just sit there and watch it and see how they're going to resolve it.
This is good survival skill development.
Yeah,
it's a mess. You're not letting them duke it out, though, are you?
I mean, every once in a while.
Kariss, don't let them hurt each other.
I would say like once every 2 or 3 days, I just let them have at it, and then eventually I'll pull them apart. But that's specifically because Ellie has been the boss of JT for so long, and JT is finally saying,
enough.
I don't really have to listen to you. So sometimes I think Ellie needs to know that she's not always the boss, and I think that sometimes JT needs to learn how to assert himself. So sometimes. Go ahead.
I always say that family, and this is what I tell my boys, that family is the there's a word I'm looking for that I can't find. It's the training ground for the rest of your life. You will learn how to deal with people because of your siblings. And so I tell my oldest son, who's a high introvert, and so he has a problem with my youngest son, who's a high extrovert. I said, to Trey, I said, listen, you need to be grateful to your brother because he's probably, somebody said it's like Hunger Games in my house now. But I said, your younger brother is probably training you for your wife. People tend to marry their opposites. Your wife.
For Josh.
Yeah. I mean, because Kariss always says she basically married her mom. But I told my oldest son, listen, he is teaching you what an extrovert needs. And he's teaching you how to communicate with somebody who's not like you. Joel, you're probably going to marry this little sweet little girl who's quiet, who just is grateful to be a wallflower while you steal the party. And your brother is teaching you how to honor her need to be still and be quiet. Like, you need to see it. And it kind of, I could see them all go, huh, like that's a thought. Somebody did say when they get into it, make them hug and make up. I do make mine work together.
Yeah,
I say, since y'all can't get along, that's a skill you need to learn. So here's this 500-piece puzzle, and every day for 15 minutes, work on it together. It's, you know, you can, there's a principle called tomato staking. You can tomato stake your kids to you, but you can also tomato stake them to each other. So I think that's a great point. Let me go back to YouTube and see if I had a question there. Somebody said, thank you for the schedule so that I don't have to wing it. For teenagers, Adele said that your teenagers are old enough for study contracts. My son came to me last night. He wanted to order something on Amazon. And I looked at him, and it's just a simple sentence. I said, well, did you finish your schoolwork? He goes, no. I said, I'm sorry. And that's a key thing, that when you're trying to navigate and negotiate with your kids, depending on their ability to that's okay. Depending on their ability to reason with you, like Ellie at 4 is old enough to negotiate with on some things because she's smart enough to do that. I told my daughter yesterday, she's basically like a teenager at this point. Her reasoning abilities, I'm like, this is why you got to set some boundaries. But with my kids, the negotiating point is, we agreed on this and you didn't do your part. And one of the golden phrases of parenting is, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that you're stuck at home. I'm so sorry that you can't do X, Y, Z. I'm so sorry if my youngest son, who doesn't finish breakfast, comes back to lunch and I put what was for breakfast back in front of him for lunch, and he goes, but what? I wanted fish sticks. I'm so sorry. We don't waste food around here. So you have to finish this. And then if there's room for you to eat what I provided for lunch, you're more than willing, you're more than happy to go ahead and do it. But when you have to lay down the law, I'm sorry, is wonderful. You can be compassionate and strong at the same time. I'm scanning for questions, y'all. We're on here for 5 more minutes, and we can make up stuff to talk about. But if you have questions, you definitely can put them in, and I can see them if they come up. So, Kariss, for those who are at home, I would love for you to speak really briefly to the benefit, not that everybody has to homeschool forever, but the benefit that you got with the time that you had at home, and how parents may think of this time as an opportunity for some things that they would never have had the availability or the time to do. Can you speak to what that gave to you and how parents might want to see that in their lives right now, being forced to do that right now?
Yes. I think that being homeschooled gave me the time to do what I wanted to do. So in school, your time is very allocated. If you get a subject more quickly than everybody else, you still have to be in class for an hour or however long. If you don't get a subject quick enough, you still have to be in class. So you may move on to the next subject without really fully understanding the last one. So it gave me the time to not have to spend forever on the things that I was good at and like didn't really struggle with, and then be maybe even more challenged in those areas, and then really spend the extra time on things that I needed help with. And then in addition to that, because my days weren't filled with doing homework for hours.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Belzies.
I farted. That was nice. She got up off of my lap because she had to fart. I have such a nice child.
Because she had to fart? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And she got up because
Hi, Belzies. Good morning. Are you coming to my house today?
She can't hear you.
Oh, to ask her if she's coming to my house today.
Ellie, are you going to go to Chris's house today?
Hi, Belzies.
And then, I'm trying to think where I was at.
It gave you time to explore.
Yes, it gave me time to explore. So because I wasn't spending all my afternoons doing homework, I could sew, and I played guitar, and I painted, and there were just so many other things I had time to do because I wasn't doing homework until 8 o'clock at night when I got home from school.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. Even if you're forced to do it, and Myra, I see your comment here on Facebook that some women honestly just don't like it. They don't like doing homeschool with their kids. They don't want to be home. They like their jobs. And you may be judging yourself right now because you're seeing some people who are like, this is great, and I finally get to be with my kids, and we're exploring life together. And you're like, I hate this, actually. I mean, don't judge yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I loved homeschooling. I think we did it for various reasons, and then we just kept doing it because I every year I look at my husband and go, are we still doing this? And I mean, honestly, y'all, I'm a homeschool mom who sends my kids away at least one day a week for other classes. And now I don't get to send them away. My older boys were gone 4 days a week, dual credit at community college, and then 2 homeschool co-ops for various classes. My younger kid, my helper works in a hospital. So we mutually agreed, her second job is working in a hospital, that she shouldn't come here every day. So I'm stuck like Chuck, just like y'all are. So I get the feeling of, I don't like this. But I just want to encourage you that whether you like it or not, it's still an opportunity to grow with your kids, to learn together. Y'all are on a journey together. And for your kids to maybe explore some things that they never would have had the opportunity to do. Catherine Fitzgerald says, she's one of my interns, my 2020 intern. She said, if the day goes off track, how do you reset it? How do you not like go, you know what? I saw Jen Hatmaker on her Instagram the other day. She did like 3 of them. The first 2 were like, look at my snack board and the morning our schedule. Then the end of the day, she said, I'm going to bed. Never mind. I don't care what these jokers do. I'm done. Like the day just, it fell apart. So when the day falls apart, what is your recovery advice? Do you have any recovery advice?
Sometimes it's just, okay, let's just be all quiet. Let's be quiet for a minute. So if that means that they're watching screen time so I can figure out how we're going to recover, then it's just, y'all just be quiet. Like sit down somewhere and be still and stop messing stuff up and be quiet. And sometimes that's get on your iPad or I'm going to put on a movie. But then that just gives the quiet for me and the headspace to figure out how to reset the day or figure out how we're going to start from that point.
100%. I used to call it halftime, quiet time. Even with teenagers, when Kariss was old enough, with babies, everybody was quiet from 2 to 4. Everybody. Because I needed a minute before everybody started getting hungry again and dinner. Don't feel bad about calling a halftime. Don't feel bad about calling a timeout. And using the words so that your family, your kids, even your husband knows. My husband can call me. And I said, is it important? Because right now it's halftime. And he knows what that means. Like, I literally want to do whatever I want to do. Take a nap, zone out on Instagram, watch a quick Netflix. Like, you have to have some self-care in here, too. Go ahead.
Sorry, DJ 50.
What'd she say?
What do you do for temper tantrums? My 2-year-old has been mean, and I'm not trying to match that. Oh.
So speak to that, because you've had some mean moments with your special daughter as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I just had to learn to stay calm. To stay calm, because I used to be like, are you losing it right now? Like, I would get upset. She would make me so mad,
which only escalates the situation.
Yeah,
that only escalates the situation.
Okay, so now go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you said so now.
Oh no, so just be very calm and don't let it get to you on an emotional level. She's 2 and you're however old you are, but I know you're older than 2, so just don't let it get to you emotionally. Stay calm. And what I say to Ellie, which is what you told me to say, is I'm sorry you feel that way. I really am. But I don't really want to. It's not a debate. Me and Ellie last night. This is my answer. I'm not changing my answer. And Ellie's new thing is she tells me her emotions. So she's like, you're making me mad, and you're making me very mad. And if you keep saying no, you're going to keep making me mad. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. But you can be mad and sad in your room. I don't want to see that out here.
And I used to tell you that. I used to be like, even if though you're not saying anything, you are still saying something non-verbally. This is how I would communicate with my teenager. And I don't want that communication. So let's separate until you can get your act together. I tell my little kids that and my big kids that. I love how, Catherine, you said, I stay calm. I try to whisper when I really want to yell. It freaks them out. It freaks my kids out, too. If I get really quiet, let me tell you something. They're just
That's when you know that you're like extremely mad. Is when you're like extremely calm. Nope, in the bathroom.
Yes, I see your comment, Mom Over 7, that your adult children are home. She said, I want my toddlers back. We're going to have a conversation about adult children too, y'all, because that's for real. That's for real. Your college kids are home. It's a whole situation. Okay, so it's 8:02. I want people to launch into their day. We're not going to steal 2 hours of their day. A couple of closing things, just as a reminder. If you don't know who I'm talking to, this is my daughter. This is my daughter, Kariss. And so let me put her information back up here. I'm trying to control too many things. I'm like my own producer. This is so hilarious. So here's Kariss's information. You can follow her on Instagram, Kariss Farris. You can find out more about her and her husband's business, Farris Photography. And then if you want to connect further, we're going to continue this conversation in the Sister Circle Facebook group. That's crystalevanshurst.com/Facebook. You can join the conversation. There's a book club going on, but we're having other conversations as well. If you want to know more about how you can get more information, there's all this bonus material that exists in the inner circle for the inner circle. And this, what we're doing today, is actually inner circle material. And we're leaving it out for a while, but then eventually we'll pull it and put it in our inner circle library. But the most important thing, y'all, is get on my email list, because if my team, my interns who are watching and listening, if they say, ooh, we made a list of these resources, we typed them up, we're going to send them out to my email list. That's the only way that I can deliver that. You want to make sure you're on that. You can simply go to crystalevanshurst.com, and right there you can sign up in the box. And I think it'll put you on a 5-day prayer journey. So you'll have that coming to your inbox, but you will also get other things, because here's already the cool thing that I think I want to share with y'all. I'm going to put it up on the screen, Kariss. I might need to send it to you because you might make it look a lot more pretty than what I have. Oh, let's see. Will it let me share?
I just want y'all to know I'm getting just a happy feeling right now, because for the first time Ellie went and woke DT up, or not DT up, Josh up, to just ask him a question. Usually she wakes me up and disrupts my sleep, but today she disrupted his sleep, and that just makes me happy.
So here's the thing, Kariss, aren't you proud of me? Look at it. I designed this. Aren't you proud of me?
Where I can't see it.
You can't see it? Oh,
No.
That's whack. Okay, well, wait. Maybe I don't know how to show y'all.
Chrissy?
I don't even know. Yes, Belzies.
Chrissy?
Oh, here it comes. So y'all, I put on the screen. You can't see it on Instagram, but on Facebook and YouTube you can see it. Hold on, Bells. Hold on one second. Hold on. So this is this thing, and I created it for the inner circle. You can do this in a spiral notebook. Kariss, can you see it now?
Nope.
You still can't see it? Anyway, you can do this in a spiral notebook. Write down on the sheet of paper, 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, so whatever your wake up time is, whatever time you go to bed, half-hour increments. Okay, and you need a column for you and a column for each one of your kids. This is not so that you can be a super ridiculous mom who is all about being, like robotic and a sergeant. This is so you can start thinking about what everybody is doing and when. I also want to encourage you, if you have older and younger children, let your older high school kids help your younger children with their math. If they've taken Algebra 2, they can help the younger kid with their addition and subtraction. So that's super quick. It's something that I gave to the inner circle, but I know I'm going to send this out for everybody. And if you want me to send it to you, make sure you're on my email list. But I wanted you to see it, and I wanted to explain it for those of you who can't see it. Do it in a spiral notebook. Give yourself 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. half-hour increments, and start to just fill in the blanks with ideas of what they can do. And the other thing, Kariss mentioned it briefly, y'all, get on Pinterest. I can guarantee you there was before, and there will especially be now, ideas of things you can do with your kids. And just look for ideas and write them down. Because, right, Kariss, that's all you did, right?
Yeah. And I look for the easiest ones, because there's a lot that are really
complicated. They're like, build a fort in your backyard, and you need to have duct tape and nails and hammers.
Sorry.
No, give them a box. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. What your kids will remember is what you framed, and you do your best to frame whatever you want to frame the best way you can. Because here's what I need you to know. You are your kid's mom, and you are the best mom for your kids in this season. No guilt, no shame, no judgment. Just get up every day and do your best. Okay, go ahead and put Ellie on so I can see her. And let
me take
put
my
the earbud.
off.
Yeah, put the thing in her ear so everybody can see her. And then we will sign off, y'all, because we went over. No guilt. No guilt.
I don't know how to turn
It's all right. Just put the thing in her ear. Just put one in her ear. Belzies.
Can you hear?
Hey, Bells.
Hi, Pay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, good morning. Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
Did you sleep good?
Yes, I slept in my fort.
Oh, okay. Well, are you going to be nice to your mommy today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know when you're coming, but I do know that when you come, I'm promising you this week we're going to make cookies, okay?
Okay.
You want to make cookies?
Yes, ma'am.
I have some alphabet cutout cookie cutters.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember? Mm-hmm. Because you're smart.
Every time I see them, the red and not the books, I see the cook. I always try to pull out that thing and check and see what is that.
Yeah, but we'll take them out. So you have my word. I promise we're going to make cookies, okay?
Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you, Chrissy.
Be nice to your mommy today, okay?
Okay.
Be obedient.
Okay.
All right. Bye. All right, y'all. All right, we'll talk to you later. Hey, stay on, Kariss, for just a second, okay?
Okay.
Do you still hear?
Hold on.
Take out.
Let me